Hello, how are you guys today? We're hoping we can clear up some questions regarding the Occupy Wall Street movement that is here in Omaha. We have had complaints from businesses and neighbors at the 24th and Farnham Street location. Some of the complaints have been open burning, public urination, and other disturbances that the police responded to yesterday. The police's goal is to have an amiable agreement with protesters to work out something, and Todd will be able to speak with you about that in a moment. I want to be very clear. The City of Omaha is not picking locations or coordinating protests or events. Our job is only to safely manage events of this nature, and we are doing what we can to work with Occupy Omaha members to allow them to exercise their First Amendment right. We are not stopping anybody from free speech in the city. We have not picked locations for Occupy Omaha. We do not pick locations for any organization. An individual identifying themselves as a representative of Occupy Omaha made a permit request to locate at Elmwood Park, and that has been conditionally granted. They indicated that they wanted to do overnights there, and they have to take that to the city council because that's violating an ordinance in the city, and so they would have to go through that process. We want to make sure that we're fair to the protesters, but we need to be fair to the citizens of Omaha as well. I mean, these are just the same rules that everybody else abides by. Other protesters abide by this, other organizations, businesses. This is the criteria we have for everybody. And so we want to make sure we're fair to everybody and don't select some organizations to give special privileges to. Let me start with Todd. He can address the 24th Street area, and then I'm going to have Paul speak with you about any legal issues or questions that you might have as well.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Todd Schmott. I'm a Deputy Chief of the Omaha Police Department. I want to talk a little bit about the 24th and Farnham situation. The area at 24th and Farnham is being used as a campsite. It's being used as part of the protest event. It is city property, and one would need a permit or permission from the city to occupy that lot, neither of which has been asked for or granted. Our goal is to work with the occupiers at 24th and Farnham to find a reasonable and diplomatic solution to that location, including working with them to find an alternative location in which they can exercise their First Amendment rights. The location at 24th and Farnham is not set up to be a campsite. There are sanitary issues that will come into play. In fact, we are receiving public urination complaints almost daily at this point. So to wrap up, and I'll be happy to answer any questions on that front, we will reach out again to the group at 24th and Farnham, try and work out a solution, but it is in violation of the law, the trespass and the refusal to leave the ordinances of the City of Omaha to be camped at that property.
What do you want to talk at all about?
Just very briefly, the general rule is obviously these individuals have the right, First Amendment right, to exhibit and protest and say whatever they want. But the city also has the ability to limit that in a reasonable time, place, and manner regulations. The city has done that by city code for some time. We do allow protest demonstrations in parks, which is a typical forum for that type of activity. However, we do limit those hours when they can do that, and we've done so in the past. So all we're trying to do at this point is allow them to exercise their rights, but also allow them to follow the regulations and the rules that the city's put forth.
Are there any questions?
So if they go to the Elmwood Park site and they